What's up guys, welcome back to another Kengan Omega video. Today we have our boy Yamashita, the Chad of Chads, and today we're going over everything about him and all of his Chadness. So our man, our Chad, Yamashita, started off at the bottom and worked his way to the top. His current age in Omega is 58 and in Astra he was 56, and he started off working in the Nogi Publishing second sales department. He ended up becoming the manager of the Takita Arma of the Kengan matches, which we found out later why this was able to happen, but at this point he was just an average businessman on like a lower sector of the corporation of the Nogi group. He wasn't known by no one. He was getting like below average pay. He was just, chilling, not too special, just bored with life, just doing his everyday work, taking shit from his superiors. And then one day, welcome to the top of the food chain, became a manager of the Takita Arma and entered the Annihilation Tournament, where his rose to greatness began. So, he had all these moments, started off timid, shy of everyone, scared of everything. Then he had the, these super Chad moments where he stands up to the likes of the Kure clan elder with like all might, this scaring him with immense aura, Chadness. Just talk shit to everyone, bro. You can get to this point where he'll start off timid, then he'll just explode with rage or this, love, ecstasy, this insane moments with our boy Yamashita. Is he the protagonist? Probably, maybe, I don't know. He's one of the three main characters of Omega and probably one of the two main characters of Astra. So, Yamashita, he's the protagonist to me at this point. So the reason later in Omega that we learned that Takita Arma and Yamashita initially met was because Nogi's ancestor Yamashita's ancestor was one of the first Kengan fighters who are under pretty much Nogi's ancestors as well, and pretty much throughout the Nogi group's rise to fame was thanks to Yamashita's ancestor and all his wins he got. So Yamashita promised his grandparents and his father to repay the Yamashita, and once he found out that someone and relative of the ancestor Yamashita was working under his group, he felt that he needed to repay them. This is what led to Yamashita being in charge of Arma and then him being part of the Nogi group and growing in stature and greatness. And as I mentioned before, during the Annihilation Tournament, he threatened the Kure elder. Even though he was, violently shaking, scared out of his life, he was able to threaten him, someone who was also a number one ranked, the first Fanga Matsuda, just able to threaten him out of the want to protect his son. So he has two sons, one who's also, a big player in Astra, another son that we've seen throughout Omega, and then that's all we know about his family. So after the end of Omega, 2 years later, he was still the head of the Yamashita Trading Co, and he was able to pretty much introduce a new branch into the Kengan Association, which was pretty much a branch that would act as a in-between between the Kengan matches and pretty much the fighters themselves. Get everything checked, have like regulations and no rules involved, so each person can have like a reason to fight or pretty much safety, is a backup plan or safety to fight, all about pretty much keeping the fighters alive. So something that happened to, as an example, Yamashita's ancestor, or at the time Oma, wouldn't happen again with the death of a fighter during the battles. And with all the good that he has done for the Kengan Association, he was able to become a high-ranking official during or for the Kengan Association, being respected by people all around the world and being regarded as the person who came from nowhere and rose to the top through the Annihilation Tournament. Everyone, having fear of him when, he's not a very scary guy unless, he gets all that rage empowerment. And, he has some power and abilities. He's no like combat master, martial arts master, but he was able to inherit the ability known as the Fist Eye from his ancestor who helped pretty much rise the Nogi group into what it is today. So his eyes possess a superhuman level of kinetic vision. With them, he's able to instinctively discern the pattern of Katara Matsudo's lottery machine, giving him first pick in the tournament position, the only one that was able to do that. Even though he didn't know at the time, combined with his pretty decent analytical skills, he's able to be the first person to point out any abnormalities in the battle. He's able to actually see what's going on in the battle more than many of the other spectators. Like most of the fighters can see what's going on during the fight, understand who's attacking, what's going on, but many of the other spectators or other pretty much representatives of fighters don't really have that type of vision or ability to see what's going on. While Yamashita can see everything always with powerful vision. And then later on we have in Omega him using this vision more, and also him being able to lead into this vision and more other abilities of him, like immense foresight and capacity to read people and see what their goal is, with him being able to correctly pretty much guess or understand 5 fighters that will pass the first fight of the Annihilation Tournament, just based on looking at them and seeing what they're capable of with his ability to read people like that, and with the Fist of the Eye passed down throughout his family. And he also has a power known as immense luck on his side throughout the series, and many of the side chapters where people try to assassinate him, he's able to just dodge without even knowing what's going on, when he's just trying to thank someone that he's helping without even knowing that someone's trying to assassinate him, with, you know, immense luck and other elements throughout the story. And now currently at the current chapter in Omega, he's just been the person that selects the fighters for Team Kengan to go out and fight Purgatory, but he's mostly leaving it up to the Kengan fighters to pick for themselves who's up next and then go out to fight, and then they just ask him for permission and goes out to fight and stuff like that. So that is all about our boy Yamashita, the only Chad that can defeat the beard with ease. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to subscribe, join the Discord, and that's it guys. Peace.